I think it's time to give you an update on what my charts look like on a daily basis, how I set them up, how I trade it, and what does this actual setup look like. So this is Thinkorswim. This is a model off of TD Ameritrade. This is their platform. You can download it mobilely or download it on your laptop or desktop. This is my desktop. I don't really trade mobile because I actually take trading seriously. Some people it works. I don't like that, especially with my strategy. So this is the main time frame here. This is the 5-minute chart here. When I'm looking at this, green means up, red means down, and I'm on the charts tab. This is the SPY. You can use the search bar to trade whatever stock you want or look at whatever chart you want. So it could be Tesla, it could be Apple, it could be whatever. But for this, and then these light grays, these are aftermarket. So the dark is actually what happens during the given day. So you can click and drag and zoom in wherever you want. So here is the SPY. I trade the SPX every day, so this is the level that I like to look at. This is a SPY. So indicators, let's get there. I know that's what the main course of this video is. So here we are. So edit studies is at this top right. I like to use the parabolic SARs. My very favorite indicator is the parabolic SARs. So here we are. Nope, I lied. Parabolic SARs are not my favorite. I like the Bollinger Bands the most. So let's start there. Bollinger Bands is where we're going to start. Bollinger Bands, add selected. And then I like the default of close 0, 20, -2, 2, and simple. Hit settings. I like the lower band here to be green because I'm a reversal trader and I like to know when it's starting to bottoming out. And green kind of signifies that I should be in calls or the upside. Upper band, I like to keep red because vice versa of calls. I like to see when it's at the top and it's starting to get a little tired and there could be a reversal coming. So I'm going to keep that red. This midline, I'm not a fan of at all. So I'm going to hit this color tab, go to more. Go to this HSV, hit transparency to 100 so it doesn't even show up. Now I'm going to hit apply, and boom, we have our Bollinger Bands. It stays within this range usually, unless it enters into a squeeze, which is exactly what you're seeing here. And how do I determine if it's going into a squeeze? Well, edit studies again, then we're going to look at the Squeeze Pro. RST Squeeze Pro right here, add selected, apply, press OK, and now it's down here and it shows me that it was entering into a squeeze. The red and yellow means a negative squeeze, and then these light blue and dark blue means that it's entering into a positive squeeze. So I like the Squeeze Pro. It's a paid indicator. It's from simplertrading.com. It's one of my favorite indicators to use because it helps me with my reversal trading and lets me know that I probably shouldn't be taking a put as the Squeeze Pro is squeezing up to the upside. So a lot of pressure in there, a lot of volume, and a lot of orders being filled on one side. So Squeeze Pro helps me out a ton in terms of figuring out if the reversal trade is worth it or not. Now we're going to go back to the edit studies. Parabolic SARs, which I messed up earlier, is just not my favorite, but it's just kind of there because I used to use them on the New York Stock Exchange, and that's kind of, I was introduced down there. So they're kind of like a piece of my trading from the beginning. So I always like to use them, and I just went to settings and changed the color to white because it just looks better on my setup. So I'm going to hit apply, okay. And these parabolic SARs just basically show me another trend flip. As you can see, there was a big spike down here. So the parabolic SARs went from this little uptrend to this downtrend because now they're above it. And it started moving towards the candlesticks. And once it got a little bit exhausted, we saw some green candles. And then the trend flipped and carried us up. So a lot of confirmations that I shouldn't be into a reversal trade as the Bollinger Bands are expanding, the Squeeze Pro is squeezing, and the parabolic SARs are below, indicating an uptrend. So now I'm going to show you my VWAP. Every trader in the world uses a VWAP, volume weighted average price. Just shows you where it likes to graduate towards to. So I'm going to hit VWAP, add selected, and I'm going to keep this, oh, it is pink already. So I'm going to do OK, apply. Now you're going to see a bunch of bands pop up. That is an issue. So we're going to go to settings, keep the VWAP here, upper band, going to do the exact same thing, hit color, HSV, transparency 0, boom. Lower band, color, more, HSV, transparency, 0. So, or 100, my fault. So just move them both up to 100 so you can't see them. They're completely transparent. And apply, okay. Now this purple line is just your VWAP, and you can see that the price action likes to gravitate towards the VWAP a lot, and there's a lot of big price movement actions based off the VWAP. Whether it's a bounce, breakdown, breakthrough, whatever it is, these are really a great trend line to basically make some of the trades off of, whether it's going to bounce or break down right through just like it did here. So love the VWAP. Everyone uses the VWAP. And then as you zoom out on the weekly chart, the daily chart, whatever it is, all the way down to the 1 minute chart, you can see that these indicators are consistent throughout. So Squeeze Pro, same thing. It's entering into a downtrend here, and it's squeezing. So you're not going to look for a reversal on the daily chart. And in terms of the daily chart, I also like to look at the 200 SMA. So if you look like an exponential moving average, you can see moving average exponential here. You can add selected. I'll hit settings, and I'll delete this 9 and do 200 as the length. So what color was that? We'll keep it light blue there. So okay, apply, and okay. 200 SMA or EMA is just something that I like to pay attention to or have on the charts. It's consistent on the 5 minute chart too. So you can see some bounces off of this quite a bit. So you don't have to use it, but I do like to keep it up there just in case. So this looks like spaghetti. Now let's get into my actual setup for daily trading. So at this top right here, I like to have more than one open at a time. I like to have 4. So I'm going to click these 2x2 boxes. And in the morning, I like to have all the SPY up. This is going to be SPY 1 minute chart, always open for the first probably 30 to 45 minutes. And this bottom one will become the 15-minute chart. Oops, sorry. This is going to be SPY. And I'm going to click the time frame of the 5-day 15-minute chart. And I'll use this for a while until the 1 minute becomes a little bit useless, because by the end of the day, when there's so much data and it's 12:30, then I'm going to switch the top one to 15, and I'm going to switch the bottom one to 30 minutes, and then I can start using these trend lines. So if you click this little arrow in drawing tools, I can start drawing my own trend lines as I found support here and found resistance here, and there was a nice little uptrend that started to develop. You can see that it was about to break out, head to high of the day, and boom, there it went. Little pullback here, and then another rip up. So it followed this trend line, and then it broke the high of the day. So I could tell that there was going to be a squeeze based off the TTM squeeze here. My indicators over here on the 5 minute chart, you can expand them and see how things are looking at certain time frames, intervals, whatever it may be. But I like to have my 5 minute with all my indicators over here. You can also switch these to whatever time frame you want. But they're consistent throughout. As you draw on these larger time frames, you can trade them off the shorter time frames. So 30 minute, 15 minute, 5 minute. I don't like to have my indicators on the 5 and 15 because it just is a lot to look at. So I like to keep these clean, and you can always right click and then clear drawing set if you want, or just delete them one by one. And then I like to look at all my indicators on the 5 minute, keep track of the 15 and 30. Now this is the very best part. This bottom left one doesn't have a time frame. This is where I actually trade my options. So if I go to trade tab and I want to trade the SPX, I trade the SPX off these SPY levels all the time. So let's just say for today, I was trading in 0-day expiration 3805. I will go to the call side. Left side's call side, right side is put side. Let's say I wanted to trade some calls. I'll right click. I will send it to red. You can send it to whatever color you want. Head back to your charts tab. Then there's a little link button next to this. You don't need to enter in anything other than just hit that link, click red for wherever you did it, and now you're looking at your option contract that you want to trade. So it's on the daily time frame, but we can move it to the 5 minute. And as you can see, once it started to enter into that squeeze today, they went from 140 a piece all the way up to 800 a piece, and that's a ton. So the way I trade these is I like to open up this active trader. So on this little down tab right here from one of them, you see AT stands for active trader. Click that, pop it open. I'm going to make this open up a little bit and put it in the middle so I can still see my 30 minute chart. I can see my 15 above me, see my 5 minute with all my indicators, and then my option contract that I wanted here, which is exactly what I was trading. So let's just say, for example, I wanted to call at this 255 level. I could buy market, sell the market, but this little drop down arrow right here shows me how many contracts I want. So if I just wanted one at a time, I would click auto send, just so I can click in and out of this active trader, so I can sell right away, I can buy right away, and if I wanted to buy it at 320, I could hit buy market, or if I go to settings here, I like to have buy the bid, add that item, or sell the ask, add that item, and press OK. So now I have join the bid, join the ask, which gives you a little bit better of a fill than it would by just buying the market. So you can join the bid, and you're joining the least amount that somebody's willing to buy at that moment, and the highest amount somebody's willing to sell. So you're going to want to sell on breakouts and buy on breakdowns right before the reversal. That takes a little bit of an experience, but join the bid and join the ask is really nice, unless you want to do it manually over here by clicking, you know, say it's at 320 on the left side here, you'll want to buy it 290, $30 cheaper. So you'll just click this however many you want, 1, 2, up to 10, maybe 200, however much money you're trading with. Maybe you're a little wild, but from there, let's say I enter in at 320. On the sell side, I can set a stop. So instead of this saying sell limit 1, it'll actually say sell -1 stop if it's below the current price. And let's say that I'm in there at 320 and I wanted to set a stop at 280. My max loss is $40, but in this case, it ran up to 800. So my max loss is, you know, $40, but I could be making 500 on the upside. Obviously, it's a lot harder than just saying that, because you actually have to actively trade it and see how it works, and it moves around quite a bit. But this way, you can set your stop loss at 40. Say it starts to come down and you don't want to get hit out right away, you can just click and drag it down. Or if it's breaking out and going, you can actually click and drag this up from, let's say it's at 320, it jumps up to 400. You can actually pull your stop limit or your stop loss at that 320, let it sit at break even. So now your trade is risk free, and unless it pulls back and hits you at 320, it'll sell at 320, or it continues to break out and you just continually move your stop loss up to keep yourself in profit no matter what. So this active trader tool changes my life. I've been trading the SPX every single day for probably 5 months, 6 months now. I used to trade just SPY or whatever stock I wanted to, individual stock based off the news, but the SPX has really changed my life because you can really limit your downside on this active trader if you're setting your stop losses and being disciplined and really honoring those stop losses. And by following it up once you're in the money, these things can cook. You know, like these went from 172, like I said, to 800 in 5, 10, 15, 25 minutes. So if you have a little bit of patience and you honor those stop losses, you can make a shit ton of money. But looking at this masterpiece, looks like spaghetti. It's crazy, I know, but this is my active trader setup. I buy and sell off this active trader. It's the best tool in the world. I have another video on actually executing it, and I'll continue to create more on how to use it, especially with my risk management and stop loss strategy. It's probably the best thing I've ever created in terms of a setup, because this helps out so much. So these are all my indicators that we walked through at the very beginning of the video. So that only applies to this one because I'd like to keep these a little bit bare so I can draw, like I said on the drawing tools, draw some of my trend lines, and look for one of those breakouts like we had one here, and they're consistent throughout. So as you can see, it bounced off this VWAP level. It kind of went to that high of the day mark, and then we blasted off through it, entered into a squeeze, and there we went on the 30-minute, the 15-minute, and the 5-minute, and you get to see how much money that these contracts went. They went from 400 to over 1,000 within 25 minutes, midday, once the squeeze broke out. So, and you can keep track of all that through the active trader, and you can buy and sell and keep track of your P&L on this monitor tab. So this is my setup. That's a lot of information in under 15 minutes, so I kind of crushed it with that. Hopefully that's enough information for you guys to take and become a really profitable trader, because this has changed my life, and I really hope that this setup, this strategy, and my content helps change yours too, because that's the biggest mission. Can't make a bunch of money and then not give back and educate the people that are also on the up and coming. So this is it. This is a strategy. Changed over time, but probably not going to change it too much from here on out because it's working, and I hope you get something from this video. And if you need anything, hit the comments. I'm very responsive. So I'm out of breath now, but love you.